Well, look what we have here. A Silverado EV electric truck at our favorite place, Hertz. I'm wondering, how long will this be here and what type of condition will it actually be? What's really funny is we're at DFW Dallas and there's like 30 people online and nobody wants this electric truck. And what's also funny, it's being charged by a Tesla charger right here because, as you know, Hertz has a bunch of Tesla chargers, but no cars in the Hertz President Circle lot. So we're gonna take it, check it out for a few days because we've got a Tesla Cybertruck and we'll be able to compare it against this Silverado EV truck. So stay tuned and let's see what we think about it. The first thing is that it's actually super dirty. I mean, not to knock on the Hertz location here. It's super busy. There's like 50 people online right now, but look what we found in the back. We've got a cowboy hat. Someone left it. I hope they're not going to be sad that they forgot it. We've got a nice open can of Coke and also a used Starbucks with which I think it's got a metal straw as well. Interior, not really the cleanest. It's still a little bit dirty, but not to knock them. They're probably so busy right now that they can't get these vehicles out. But the coolest thing with this is that it's got 200 miles of range at the moment. So I can't wait to drive this thing for the next few days to check it out and see what it's like to own a Chevy Silverado electric truck. It's got a big bed. I hope it's comfortable, and really I hope we don't run into any issues with charging along the way. She just said I got a good deal. Well, I said no one wanted it. There's like 30 people online. No one wanted a Silverado EV truck that probably is not going to be able to go too far, especially in the Dallas area. But we're getting it with 50% on the battery, so we'll see. We should be able to put it through its paces on this experience. First drive, it feels more comfortable, guys. This seems more comfortable than the Tesla Cybertruck. I also think I'm lost right now. Let me see, maybe I'll just go this way. But, ooh, first turn, not good. Steer-by-wire on the Cybertruck definitely makes it way more enjoyable to drive wherever you're going. But I think I'm going the wrong way, so I'm gonna pop a U-ey. Maybe the turning radius is good. Turning radius is good, it's just it's so much turning of this steering wheel, and on top of that, this steering wheel is massive right now. But let me get on the road and figure out where we're going first. I don't hate it. It's actually a really comfortable ride right now, but it does feel like a big boat. I can feel like whenever I left off the acceleration, I feel it lunge forward a little bit. It really does have a big difference between like the Cybertruck. Cybertruck, like I've said in other videos, is like a truck coupe, feels like a sport coupe. Wherever you're driving around, this definitely feels like a truck, and when you're driving around also drives like a truck as well. But on top of that, it does feel more comfortable, I would say, than the Tesla Cybertruck. I mean, we are on the suburban roads right now, so we're gonna get onto the highway and then maybe some other bumpier roads. So we'll see if it actually is still more comfortable. But right off the bat, bigger steering wheel, nice big dash, but lots of more interior space of this Silverado EV. I'll tell you how much I paid for this rental per day as well. And it's not terrible, all things considered, in terms of the actual day rate for the Silverado EV. And then we'll also do a little bit of a review of the interior and also the truck bed and what I think of it as well. Got some pickup though, that's for sure, like any electric vehicle. So I've been driving for about 20 minutes now, and I gotta say, this is way different from the Tesla Cybertruck. This Silverado EV is probably more comfortable than the Cybertruck, but it also feels like a big boat. Whenever I drive side to side like this, I can feel the whole body roll. I braked, and the brakes definitely do work pretty well, and I can feel the whole thing just lunge forward. Interior wise though, initial thoughts, a lot of plastic. I mean, but that's not saying a lot. A Tesla is still a Tesla. Really not luxury interior, but definitely a lot more plastics in this vehicle, and maybe arguably this one could be more durable as well. Acceleration good, braking good. I can hear the motors, the electric motors whine just like you hear in the Cybertruck. Maybe this one's just like a little bit more quieter, and I can also hear air noise as well. But that's pretty common with any electric vehicle. The UI though, not happy with at the moment. There seems to be a lot of errors, and maybe because this is like a rental truck. I mean, it does have like over 2,000 miles on it. That sounds like a pretty low mileage, but for a rental vehicle, that's pretty high, I would say. But let's see how it feels like, and we'll check in periodically as we drive this for the next 2 days. But you can't knock it. We got two screens here. We got one right here and then one right here. We got Apple CarPlay running, which Tesla doesn't have that, and also most Teslas, or I guess over 50% of the Teslas, don't have a screen behind the steering wheel as well. Down here in the bottom, you can see the range or how many miles left in the battery, and then on the right side, it's got like a meter to show like when you're accelerating, how much you're using each time you push on the pedal. Down here, we got climate. I just discovered this maybe about 10 minutes ago. Immediately switched it to low for AC, and it feels fine. Huge bin down here at the bottom. But let me show you how much we're paying for this. We've got this for about 2 days, and it's gonna be $266 total. The body feel, I mean, it definitely is not a bad thing, but this is why it's important. And I guess this is probably the reason why Tesla continues to have their vehicles much lower in every single segment. Because when you let off the acceleration, when you go into regen mode, the whole vehicle shifts forward. That's not necessarily uncomfortable for you as a driver because you know what's happening, but it certainly could be uncomfortable for everybody else in the vehicle. So you kind of have to feather the throttle when you let off. But the flip side to that is that it's definitely a more comfortable ride than Tesla vehicles, or at least than the Tesla Cybertruck. And to add to that comfort, the ride height is a lot higher, and so you can see more on the road as you navigate throughout the city and even suburbs. I definitely like the styling of it. It's definitely more rounder. It is certainly a bigger truck at the end of the day. It sits higher. I think it's even longer, probably about the same width, but you can see the differences between like the suspension. It is way higher than a Tesla Cybertruck. The front is rounded, really rounded in the front. It's basically the complete opposite of a Tesla Cybertruck. Cybertruck being so many different angles, and this is like a big round truck. A couple things I've noticed already that's really cool that, you know, of course, because Chevy has built trucks before, a lot of things just kind of make sense. Like this step stool right here, where you can step on it and climb into the bed of the truck. Bed seems about a little bit bigger, but only because the wheel wells on the side give it that more space, but it's definitely not as long as I think the Tesla Cybertruck is. 3 plugs over here, or actually 4 plugs. Wow, 4 110s and a 220, 240. Pretty interesting. And 2 lights on the side right there, and a metal lined bed. But here's the charge port. You can see it's CCS as well as J1772. What's really cool is though, it's got a side step here, which is nice because this truck certainly is higher. And the interior of this, very, very spacious. I really like how there's a window right here. Unfortunately, this one does not roll down. But in terms of interior size, this is really, really nice. I was in here with 2 other guys and it was not cramped at all. Got a little backup camera right here, and this is the WT version or work truck version. So it's like the most decontented base truck that there is. And I mean, for the price point, 40 to 50K with 400 miles or 390 miles, you really can't go wrong. But there is one thing that kind of worried me. We charged it earlier this morning, started at 8 a.m. and charged it to about 3 o'clock, and the battery went from 40% to like 60%. I mean, the charger was a level 2 charger. I think it must have charged like 5 kilowatts of speed because we were only able to gain like 45 kilowatts total, and that only charged from 40 to 60%. So not a lot at all, and a little bit alarming in terms of how big this battery might be. I mean, it has to be big because of how many miles of range this gets, 390. A couple things I don't like so far. I really don't like this drive stock lever. I guess I'm just used to not having stocks, but if there is going to be a drive lever like down here in the middle or something like that, but this one, it's just not intuitive. Like, you don't push down like this to go into drive or reverse. You have to like pull it towards you and then pull it down or pull it up like that. And so it's just not the nicest experience with this. And then of course park is right here on the right like that. I do like how when you get in, you just push the brake and it's ready to go. And also when I was exiting the vehicle, it detected the key that it was still inside the car. And so it reminded me before I walked away so that I wouldn't leave the key in the car. What I do like is that it is pretty darn comfortable. I don't know what's up with it though, but when I've been sitting in it, when I've been driving it, I do feel a little nauseous at times, but I think it's just because it's a bigger vehicle and I'm just not used to it at the moment. But it is kind of crazy how big this battery is, because it has to be big to be able to get to 390 miles of range. But final thoughts, like, I am certainly understanding it, and I feel like if you just need a truck that's electric, you want it to be electric, and you want to have the highest mileage possible, I mean, $40,000 to $50,000 for this work truck or fleet truck seems like a crazy value. At the end of the day, this is a work truck, very basic, the interior is basic, and I think it's supposed to be that. But thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know if you have any questions on it down below in the comments. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.